The entitled women of today in their search for attention and validation find themselves on Highway 304, the Cheetah's Highway. Today's story is something different. A look at the craziness that lives in the rest areas of Highway 304. The Korean 4B movement. In the aftermath of Trump's re-election, there is the outcry from the purple-haired left-leaning Femizons, in their anger against the Y chromosome. It seems that men have once again inspired the hate and wrath of the Y chromosome. If only the men would follow the lead of the Femizons, the world would be a wonderful place full of unicorns and rainbows. Men would be so much happier as they spend all their time worshipping their betters. Men should drink their soy latte, and leave the thinking to their superiors. Or so, some women think. In South Korea, the 4B movement started during the mid-2010s. A Femizon movement where sex would be withheld to force men to comply to the women's wishes. Since they didn't overthrow South Korea, it is assumed a failure. The left loves to grasp on things that fail, and push them forward again and again. Over the last few days, I have seen articles about the Femizons taking up the mantle of 4B movement to show the men of the USA that they will suffer for re-electing President Trump. I don't care who a person votes for, but there is always a winner and a loser. So live with it. Google showed a tremendous upswing in searches for 4B movement in the blue states. These women, somehow, believe that they will punish all men for voting for Trump, by withholding sex from them. These women will be celibate for as long as it takes to make men understand how wrong that the men are. Not getting sex will bring those stupid men in line. Overnight, men will be begging for sex. The women will have all the power, and the men will have to comply to her wishes. Realistically, the men that are married or living with a Femizon, probably voted for Harris. The man bun wearing, soy latte drinking, Prius driving, tree hugging, and skinny jeans wearing men voted the way their woman told them to. So the men not getting sex, are probably not getting it anyway as they stay at home while their Femizon mistress goes out on girls' nights, and mini vacays. Who are these Femizons meeting on girls' nights? The bad boys. So the 304s are going on girls' nights and vacays so they can have sex with the bad boys. While Soy Boy Roy is at home with the kids or the pets, the 304 places her Femizon Club ID card in her clutch and rides a bad boy off into the sunset. The bad boy doesn't care about her politics. He is a real man, that doesn't stand up for her BS either she wants him or not. He doesn't care. The bar is full of women. If she wants him, she will bow to the bad boy's needs and wants. She will worship him for her own gratification. Bad boy understands something that soy boy will never understand. There are vaginas everywhere. If a woman withholds sex, or uses it as a weapon, the bad boy will dump her because there are more than 4 billion vaginas on this earth. There is no scarcity of it. There is a surplus demand which drives down the market value. This man doesn't marry women. He uses them for his enjoyment. He may enjoy her company until he doesn't and then he moves on. So ladies, should you withhold sex from your husbands and boyfriends? Let's see how it works out. Can the Femizons go without sex too? I understand, from the hundreds of women that I have employed over the last several decades, that women like having it too. If your wife isn't giving it to you, she's probably giving to someone. Just saying. Some of these women that hated Trump for his locker room talk about the grabbing some pee. I have heard horrible things from their mouths about other employees that they hooked up, such as Joey has a micro one, or Johnny is hairy as a gorilla, or I call him the Minuteman, you know why. But it's okay for them to act like that. You know that when Femizons marry, they pursue the nice guys that can provide, and will put up with their wacko leftist BS men that will worship them, and will get a weekly allotment of sex in the bedroom. Pure vanilla with no hope of any extra being given. These beaters serve, they do not lead in the marriage. I am interested to see how this shakes out with these beta males. Will they put up with 4B movement, or will they find their testicles in their junior high locker, and stand up for themselves? Will any of them have the fortitude to divorce their Femizon wives? I doubt that they will cheat. They will be subjected to divorce threats, or losing their children, or losing their home. Their wives do not respect them, and the men have not given the woman any reason to respect him. Most men don't understand that they have power. Men can always start over. Even at 30, or 40, or 60 years old. As a man matures, his value increases while a woman's value decreases. That's why women find themselves hitting the wall around 40. No husband, no children, and few options. Sure, there are men to have sex with, but those men do not want any relationships, or have been burned so bad by Femizons that they would never again get in a relationship. So that the 40-plus-year-old women may have a lonely life without a companion of the opposite gender. The strong alpha males would never put up with 4B movement. Let's observe that Joe comes home, and his wife tells him that since Trump was re-elected that he will no longer get any loving. Joe would either laugh at his wife, and tell her how crazy that is, then pick her up and carry her to bed, and reinforce his desires. I am sure that during the heat of passionate romance from Joe, the wife will willingly accept intimacy from Joe, and forget all about 4B until after they are finished with the loving. I am stating that Joe seduces her, and does not force himself on her against her wishes. Does that make you feeling better? Joe might, also, listen to the wife, and firmly tell her no. If she feels that strongly about the election, then she should move out of his house. They can divorce and go on with their separate lives. He can start a new life without her. He's an alpha, and alphas have options. If the wife goes vindictive against the husband, and tries to financially break him with child support and alimony, an alpha can find ways to make money off the books with profitable side hustles like lawn care or online businesses, and second jobs. He is not a loser, and will focus on winning regardless of the opposition. The alpha knows the secret that there are always options, in business and romance. We know exactly how the bad boy will take this demand. She tells him that he's not getting romance because Trump is re-elected. The bad boy shrugs, grabs a beer to drink while he packs his stuff, and leaves. No discussion, no arguments. He does not fuel the fire, because he doesn't have to. He knows that there are thousands of vaginas outside his door, and he is off to find the next one. Strong conservative men tend to marry strong conservative women, and tend to have strong sex lives. These strong conservative women understand that their men lead the family, and he will listen to any reasonable ideas that she has. He respects his wife, and she respects him. That is why trust is so important in any relationship. He can trust his wife to make good decisions. Whether about life, love, and their family. She doesn't have girls' night with drinking because it leads to bad decisions, or she doesn't have them at all. She has friends, but chooses friends like herself, and stays away from troublemakers. The husband does the same. He respects the wife so he doesn't put himself into situations that lead to problems. He watches sports with his guy friends at someone's house, and doesn't go to potential bad places like strip clubs. Respect and trust goes both ways. Give the proposition of the 4B movement. I want you to join me to watch the outcome. Will we see an increase in divorce from the blue states, as men finally grow a pair and stand up for themselves? Thanks listening, and please subscribe.